Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Guys J here, bringing y'all back another Boruto review, episode 77. And let's see, it kind of like picked up where episode 76 left off, with Naruto not deciding to not close the gates, but instead tidying up the security. And that's what they're working on now. Inojin and Sai are strengthening up the security and the surveillance to be able to detect people when they come in. But before we get into this episode review, guys, go ahead and hit that like button if you think you're going to enjoy the video. Hit the subscribe button, doing the giveaway. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into the review. And like I said, we start off where basically last episode ended, with Naruto wanting to strengthen the security and surveillance system, and that's what they are doing. Ino and Sai are testing out the new surveillance system, which so far has been a success. They're only able to, as she says, they're only able to immediately detect people's chakra as they walk in, but they're using the same system that they used during the Great Ninja War, where it barrier around the village, and anyone who walks in, if their chakra has not been registered, then they will be, let's say, they will be approached by some ninja. So, but like I said, it can only detect immediately after. So if someone gets too far, or if it's been too long, they won't be able to find them. So that's why it's important for them to have a swift security system and a swift ninjas in place to go there immediately right after someone passes the barrier. So, and they gathered a lot of the sensory ninja in the village to be able to participate in the operations test. So basically they're going to have some other ninjas playing as an infiltration team, and the sensory ninjas over there will be basically the search team to find the people who are playing the infiltration team. So Inojin is a big part of that, because he was like kind of confused at first. So he runs into Boruto, which Boruto tells him that he's part of the infiltration team, and that he didn't know that Inojin was a sensory ninja. But Inojin said like his scores are high enough, so they went and caught him, but that's not something he really does. So Kohan interrupts the conversation, basically telling Inojin that, hey, I'm gonna be working with you, and he thanks Boruto and Shikadai, because Shikadai was there too, for being a part of the test to help them with this operation test, to see if the new security and surveillance system is up to par. So we go through this test, and Inojin so far is like struggling in the morning. Like, he's not able to accurately find the enemy chakra. He gets attacked by a chicken trying to find Boruto. Boruto was on the other side. He went inside, and he's just not good at this. And he tried to tell Kohan that, because Kohan was like, okay, like kind of confused, like you're Ino's child. But he told Kohan in the beginning that, hey, I'm not my mother, because Ino is more mature. She's a little bit more powerful. She's been doing this way longer, so she's better at it. So Inojin walks into the sensory station, I'm just gonna call it station, and sees his mother boosting everybody's like spirit and morale, and about making this the best system that the Konoha has ever had. He starts to walk away, and his mother calls out to him. She basically tells him, apologizes for pushing him into something that he doesn't really want to do, and that if he doesn't want to participate, that he doesn't have to, because she's seen how he was doing it. He wasn't doing so hot. So he's walking, and he kind of runs into his dad, and Sai tells him that, well, he tells Sai that he thinks he disappointed his mom. Well, Sai tells him that, basically says, why your mom is proud of sensory missions, and it's because she respects your grandfather so much, because your grandfather, he was accurately able to like read the situation, and even when he knew he was going to die, he stayed true to his path, and he did all he can up until he died, and that's why she respects sensory missions. So, and he basically says that, hey, do what you can with what you have. Basically, do what you want and do what you can with what you have. Don't worry about anyone else. So So he goes on to ask Kohan to teach him some tricks about sensory possession. So Kohan does. He tells him you must calm your mind, you must calm yourself, you must focus your mind, and then focus on a point that you'll be able to detect chakra, stuff like that. And he does it, but it's a small range. So they get a call to the construction site, and Inojin accomplishes. He accomplishes by finding Shikadai. But he also senses another mysterious chakra, and that he's concerned about it. Kohan and Shikadai at first try to push him off and dismissing it, that there's nothing that was, wrong over here. Even though that Inojin told him that the chakra made him feel, the chakra he sensed was rough and creepy. So Kohan decides to call the sensory team back at the sensory station, and they tell him that nothing was wrong or nothing was unusual there. But Inojin can't shake it from his mind. And Shikadai, seeing that, kind of stood up for him, like, you know what? I know he's cynical and grumpy, but he doesn't lie. So if he felt this, and it may be something that we need to look into. So Kohan lets him. So, and there was a construction guy, his name was, because that's what they seen, Okame Arai. So basically, they tell him, yeah, Okame Arai works there, but he's off today. They was like, well, do you know where he is? And another person in a construction site station, basically said, well, I dropped him off at the train station yesterday, so he's not even in the village. He's off at a wedding. So they start to wonder why Okome would leave and sneak back into the village. And that's when Boruto was like, well, what if, because they got Boruto to help them in this. So Boruto was like, what if it wasn't Okome? What if it was someone, who did a transformation jutsu, walked in, and that's when Inojin said you could transform, but you can't transform your chakra. You can transform your body, but your chakra would stay the same, so it wouldn't work. And that's why Shikadai was, on his grown man thinking ish, and he was just like, hold up. He takes out a bingo book and tells him that it's this dude because he has a rare ability that copies chakra, and it was Yorishio Hoei. So they call back to the sister team, telling them what they have come across. And Ino basically tells Inojin, thank you for the report. And they go and find Hoei. So they go to the sector where they think he's in, and Inojin doesn't believe that he can sense the whole area. Boruto tells him, you don't know until you try, bro. Go ahead and try to do it. And that's when Shikadai told him that, hey, you're the only one that can sense chakra here. And that do what you can, and if you can't sense anything, well, think of the next step. And that reminds him of what his mom said to him, what his dad said to him. They basically do what you can with what you have. So he pulls out his big ninja scrolls and draws a whole bunch of tiny birds, and some of them scratch, and spreads them throughout the city. Now each bird has his chakra infused in him, so he's able to expand his sensory range further, and he does just that, finding Hoei. So, they apprehended him pretty quickly. He wasn't really a fighter. They got him pretty quickly, so it wasn't even a fight. But cuts to Ino saying that the operation test handed them the first big catch, and it was basically successful. And Kohan comes up to tell her about Inojin's sensory skills, but she cuts him off, telling him that it just won't do, that his other skills are lacking in order to be a sensory ninja. So then it cuts back to Inojin walking with Ino, and she basically tells him that because of what they did, they were able to add a filter to detect imposters, and it's all thanks to him. But he brushes off, saying it was by chance, and asks her if she would be closing the flower shop. Well, she tells him no, and she says whether it's her skills protecting as a sensory ninja protecting the village, or it's someone making people happy with flowers, they're both important to her. She wants to do both, and that's why she wants him to do what he wants to do and not worry about anything. Because at the end of the day, if you push someone to do something they don't want to do, they're going to grow to hate it. They're going to have they're not going to like it, basically. That's important. That's basically the important message of this whole episode, was do what you want to do. Don't let people force you to do something that you don't want, because you're gonna grow to hate it. So do what you want to do, because if you do what you want to do, you're gonna end up loving it, and you won't regret. Not, at least if you feel like doing what you want to do, you won't regret at least not trying. So, I mean, this episode was okay, especially for a Boruto episode. It wasn't bad. I enjoyed it a little bit. It's still kind of boring, but this episode was still kind of boring, but I enjoyed it a little bit. So let me know what you think of the episode. Again, doing a giveaway at 100 subscriber, guys. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and been Gaijin for Gaijin Retreat, guys. And I'm out.